Hey everybody, Josh here. Just wanted to show you some of the things I've been tinkering around with in TextMate. I know there's a lot of OS X developers who like using TextMate for a variety of development, and it's a little quicker and it's smaller. It doesn't have anywhere near the same footprint as using Eclipse with Force.com. So what I've created is this bundle, which includes a bunch of commands and templates and things to make it easier to work with your Force.com and database.com orgs. So really quickly, I've created a new folder over here in Finder, and the first thing I did was I just dragged that over to my project panel here. Then if I go to Force.com and create project, first thing we need to do actually is create just a kind of sample little file. I'm just creating this little text file here. Might come in handy later, but really just so that I can kick off my commands here. And the first one I'm going to do is the start new project. And really quickly, what it's going to do is pop up this little directory telling me or this little window telling me it's created some directory and temporary files and build files. If I go back over to Finder, we can see that. And then going over in Finder actually forces TextMate to refresh that as well. So I've got this now in my project folder. And we've had this build properties and everything, not everything, but we're heavily using the Force.com migration tool, which uses Ant to do the builds and talking back to the server for things like getting our latest code and things like that. Now, normally with Ant, you use a properties file. You have a username and password, but since I've got all these different projects and I'm carrying around my laptop, to different places and speaking at different places and things like that, I didn't really want my password here in a text file, which might be accidentally pulled up like on a huge video screen or something like that. So I'm going to leverage Keychain here and more securely store my actual password before it's actually going to be used with the Force.com. So I'm just going to put in developer edition username there, give it a fake password for now so that I don't have to actually show, and then we're going to give it a new Keychain account. We're just going to call this TextMate Test 1. And if I go back over here and highlight these and go down to Force.com, you can see this Keychain access and add password. And if that's successful, what it's going to do is it's going to just replace that whole bit with just the name of the account. Now, if I go over to Keychain, we can see that account has been added. And if I show password, it's going to prompt me here. Allow that. See, it's going to say fake password. So I'm going to pause the video a second, change out this password to the real one, and then get right back to you. Okay, so I've changed my password to be the real one. You can see it does not show up in the build properties file here. Save that. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and download. So we've got these empty folders here. I'm going to download the latest code from the org related to those credentials. So if I go to Force.com, go to create product, go to get latest. It's going to give me this little progress window here. And right now it's actually getting the password from Keychain. It's substituting that in within the properties file for the duration of time that Ant needs it. And then it's going to flip that back so that it's hidden once again. So it's actually only there momentarily while we're doing these builds. And we'll see here. Takes a little bit. I'll probably pause this section. 40 seconds here. We're pulled down the changes. Once again, the updates might not be visible right away in the product pane, but if I go over here, we can see my new classes. And then when I go over, you can actually see it within the product panel. Now, if I pull up, this is an Apex class here, very simple one, obviously, but I can also just build just this one class. And once again, it's going to pull my password from Keychain. It's going to create a little temporary account or temporary directory to just build this one file. This is going to take about 15 seconds as opposed to the very lengthy time to building out an entire project. The last thing I want to show with that Keychain access is that if for some reason you wanted to lock out TextMate from using that, you could go down to Keychain here and you can hit lock Keychain. You can see a little status here that it's been locked. And now when I hit that build, the first thing that is going to happen is I'm going to have to enter in my password. So you can essentially say, you know, this keychain has been locked, and if anybody wants to go and access that security password again, that they have to re-enter in your keychain account password there.